What's poppin' Westchester? I'm Monica Castillo here at the Jacob Burns Film Center.
What's poppin' Westchester? This is the Westchester Pop.
Hi.
Hi.
Happy summer.
Happy summer.
So here's what's really cool about Jacob Burns this summer. You guys are showing movies that you don't usually show. So talk to me about your Big Trouble in Little Pleasantville series.
Yes, so Big Trouble in Little Pleasantville are a lot of the action movies that we grew up watching and enjoyed and loved, and now it's a chance to see them on the big screen once again. So it's really exciting to get your friends together, get family together, maybe introduce folks who haven't seen these movies before in the way they were meant to be seen on the big screen with some popcorn.
So you guys just showed Independence Day, and you have like Goldfinger, right? You have Drive, which is one of my favorite movies ever.
Good choice.
How did you have T2, which is also one of my favorite movies.
In 3D.
In 3D?
Yes.
That I didn't know.
Yep.
Wow. So talk to me like how you, first of all, how did you choose? Like how did you select the movies? Me being a Star Wars lover, I would assume because you guys were awesome enough to show the original trilogy back in May,
Yep.
that kind of took all the Star Wars movies out of the mix. But how did you guys like decide which movies to show?
So this was kind of my brainchild, and I sort of compiled a nice, long action movie list of things we would love to see, things that I think would be a good fit, and thankfully I work with other programmers on my team, and we had a conversation of we should do this, we should do this, we should branch out into action comedy with Hot Fuzz, we should do not just Drive but also The Stuntman with Peter O'Toole. Include some of the deeper cuts as well as something like as big as Raiders of the Lost Ark. And then we just started kind of finding spaces for them in the calendar, and that's how we shape a series.
So cool.
Yeah.
What didn't make the cut that you wish made the cut that may appear in a future series?
Well, luckily I had Seven Samurai on my list, which is one of my favorite action movies. And it didn't quite make the cut initially, but thankfully there's a new restoration from Janus Films that is also now going to play at the Burns later this month in July.
Awesome. Cool. And you also, by the way, I love that T2 in 3D is coming to Jacob Burns. I don't know if you guys could have gotten away with this, like back when you first opened, small independent theater showing T2. I love it.
We have fun.
You do have fun. And then you have other series also this summer.
We have quite a few other series this summer. So
How do you sleep? Do you sleep?
Good question.
Sleep. None of I know that. What is your position?
So I'm the senior film programmer.
And you have a couple of programmers?
Yes, we have an interim director of programming named Chris Holliday, and then I also work with a programming coordinator named Ian Lacasio.
Okay, so you guys all get together and you dream up these awesome series, and then how do you decide, and I didn't forget my question, but how do you guys, how much is too much, and then tell me about your other summer series.
Usually it's the calendar that lets us know too much is too much, because it would be very easy to have done a 52 film salute to action movies, but there is just not enough time or space to be able to do that, so we have to pick favorites, and maybe we'll bring them back in another way, some way other down the line, but it is a conversation between us as a team.
Okay. And other summer series, you have Sounds of Summer?
We do have Sounds of Summer, which is an ongoing series we've had for many years. And this is a really exciting mix of restorations, some favorites like Stop Making Sense. We're starting with a new documentary on Stevie Van Zandt called Disciple. We're also partnering with the Bob Dylan Center once again, so they'll be presenting clips that they found in their archive that you can't really see outside of Tulsa, Oklahoma, unless you go to visit them there. Otherwise, you can see it here at the Jacob Burns. So that's really interesting. I'm also really excited for a new documentary on Brian Eno. It's just called Eno, but it is a generative documentary, so you never see the same documentary twice. It's programmatic, so you only see certain bits at certain points, and you don't see the full set of the documentary, but you get a very unique experience for that one screening. Wow. So you either see this version now, or you don't see it at all.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I used to play his music in airports.
Oh, yeah.
A lot. Because I've read.
I think he actually did the music for the Windows 98 startup.
Did he?
I think so. Yeah,
Okay.
it's very impressive, like how far-reaching his work has been.
Yeah, like it used to be very like therapeutic, and not that it's not anymore. I'm sure listening to it is still, but like I listened to it a lot back in the day. And then you have kids series, right?
Yes.
I have a Silenzio Bruno tattoo
Oh,
for Luca.
Luca.
I'm very happy that that's part of it. What other movies are you showing?
Yeah, so each month usually has a little bit of a theme. So Luca is part of like the Farewell to Vacation series. So we also have the Parent Trap there.
Wait, does that mean that it's end of summer?
That'll be
Luca?
August.
Okay.
Yes, so it's still coming up.
So now I'm not looking forward to it. Because that means summer's ending.
But it's so beautiful, that movie.
It is. It's my favorite. One of my favorite movies.
Yeah, it's a gorgeous Pixar movie.
Yeah.
And because it was released kind of during the pandemic, it didn't originally get a theatrical release. So bringing it back is the chance for audiences to see these on the big screen.
Yeah. And you said Parent Trap. What other movies are? Is that the Lindsay Lohan?
Yes,
Parent Trap?
that is the Lindsay Lohan
Okay.
Parent Trap from 1998. There's another series that also influences the programming for September, and that's Alien Friends. So we have Lilo and Stitch as well as E.T., and now you can see the full lineup through December.
Wow. It's funny, I was gonna ask you if it's too early to talk about fall.
Not at all.
Okay, so going into fall a little bit, like besides E.T., another favorite, and Lilo and Stitch, which is not, what else do you have going on?
So for JBFC kids...
Nothing against Lilo and Stitch, because a lot of kids like it.
It's really big.
Yeah.
I was actually impressed last time I went to the one of the Disney parks, how prominent Stitch has become.
It's huge, and then there's going to be a live action, which is just going to probably be off the charts. But yeah, so what else do you have?
Yeah, so in October we have sort of not so scary picks. We have the Addams Family, the original one with Raul Julia.
Yeah.
And then we also have The Curse of the Were-Rabbit, the Wallace and
Okay.
Gromit movie. In November, we have sort of live-action animation movies, Who Framed Roger Rabbit, as well as Looney Tunes Back in Action.
Cool.
And then in holiday classics, The Muppet Christmas Story, The Muppet
Carol.
Christmas Carol,
Yeah.
and then Nightmare Before Christmas.
Nice. How far in advance do you start, like, your team start thinking about, like, series? Like, are you thinking now already for, like, Valentine's Day? Like, what is...
We are.
You are?
We are having those conversations just
Okay.
because it does take, a minute to compile those films, maybe rewatch some of them or watch them for the first time as part of research, figure out where in that calendar we can fit so many movies or so little movies. And then it is a conversation of what we want to make space for and when. So it's constantly like checking in with each other and seeing what works, what can we do better, and if it fits better in another month, maybe we save it for that other month.
Okay. So summer movie, what's your favorite summer movie, like, of all time?
Ooh, I have a soft spot for David Lean's Summertime, which I just rewatched recently with Katharine Hepburn, and it's just her going off to Venice and having a summer vacation on her own terms. But she learns something about herself and she finds love out there. And it's really lovely. It's very emotional. It's very David Lean. And it just makes me miss Italy.
Yeah. And
Makes me want to go off on vacation.
What's your favorite summer popcorn movie?
Summer popcorn movie. Ooh, that's a tough one. There's so many, but I think out of my Big Trouble in Little Pleasantville series, I have a real soft spot for the Raiders of the Lost Ark because it's one of those movies that you may have seen hundreds of thousands of times. It might even be playing in a doctor's office, but I will watch it each and every time.
Every time, yeah. Yeah, I just saw Last Crusade again.
Yeah.
Which still holds up.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it still holds up. What's your favorite thing about your job? Because I would think it's extremely overwhelming, but like extremely cool. Like I mentioned Drive a few minutes ago, and your eyes lit up. Like, what's the coolest thing about your job?
Gosh, yeah, it's definitely not for everyone, but I actually do really enjoy watching movies. Like, I will finish watching movies for work and then turn on TCM or the Criterion Channel and keep watching movies. That's what I do for fun. So it's very much a gift and a privilege to be able to do what I love as work, even if it is challenging at times because I have so many screeners to get around to. I have so much research to do. It really is fun.
Is it nice to like have this place, like especially in Westchester? Like I feel like, And by this place, I mean Jacob Burns, not wherever we are. Where you put me?
This is the soundstage at the Media
Yeah.
Arts Lab.
Yeah.
So we're not that far. We're
Yeah,
just
yeah.
down the street.
Just down the block. But like in Westchester, I feel like, yes, in Brooklyn or in Manhattan, not quite like this. They don't exactly have what Jacob Burns has to offer, but you guys are really the only game in town. So, I mean, it really is nice. What do you think Jacob Burns brings to Westchester?
I think it's a huge resource for the community. I think, the fact that we create space for young audiences, older audiences, audiences of all ages, is really meaningful to me because I grew up going to the movies, and through college I kept going to the movies, and still today I go to the movies. I meet friends there, I see people. It was one of the things that I was missing most during the pandemic, and to be able to come back has been so important to me. So that I have any hand in this is very important and meaningful.
And we're in the Media Lab, which is like also it's a place for future filmmakers too. So there's
Future
that.
filmmakers,
Yeah.
folks who love film, folks who want to learn about film. We, help students of all ages also get the first understanding of media or animation. It's super fun to just walk by when on my way into work and see a class in session.
If Jacob Burns came with a tagline, like a movie came with a tagline, what would it be?
Ooh, that's tough. Entertainment and education for the community.
Good. Okay. Put you on the spot.
I was like, ooh, that's a tough one.
Did you see Tenet during the pandemic? Just curious.
I did not.
I did.
Oh, you did?
Because I missed the movie so much. I went into an empty theater with a friend of mine with masks on. Didn't know what the hell was going on, but I was happy to be there.
Yeah. I also remember going back to the theaters and just feeling so overwhelmed, and also being one of two people there.
Yeah, like the second that I could, I went there. Didn't know what the hell was going on, but just was happy to be back.
Just happy to be back, yeah.
Anyway, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Great to meet you.
So lovely to meet you.
And now here's some extra footage. What's After Hours at Jacob Burns?
So After Hours is sort of our genre series. We play these movies Fridays and Saturdays at 9 p.m. There's stuff that it's a little bit off the beaten path for us, but we're excited to bring into our screens anyway. So that this month is going to be part of those action movies. So you get a late night show, have a little bit more fun with that. But next month we also have sort of rock stars in movies. So David Bowie in The Hunger, Alice Cooper in Prince of Darkness. And then we move on to a little bit of sci-fi with extraterrestrial movies like Mars Attacks and Galaxy Quest.
Love it.
And then building up to horror, and we have a horror movie marathon at the end of the month that I'm really excited for.
Tell me a couple of movies in the horror.
Oh, so I haven't, the lineup for the horror marathon haven't been
not yet.
announced, but we do have two screenings of Texas Chainsaw Massacre and Nightmare on Elm Street.
Nice.
Both of which are celebrating an anniversary this year, and we have pulled 35mm prints to show at the theater.
Awesome.
So that's definitely something you can't stream at home.
Cool. Awesome.